Welcome back. Good to have you in. Loaded today. Malcolm Gladwell, Katino Mobley, Eddie House in a couple of minutes. So most great players and most great businesses aren't confused by what they are. They know what they are. Kobe knew what he was. Brady knows what he is. Peyton Manning, Nick Saban, Belichick. They're not going to apologize for it. Like great companies are the same way. Netflix knows exactly what they are. They're not into sports. That are not into sports. Okay? They produce stuff. TV shows. High end. They know what they are. Companies get into trouble when they forget what they are. Players get into trouble when they doubt who they are. The great ones always have a defined sense of self. And it was very interesting. Before the season and during the season, my friend Jason Whitlock kept saying about Kevin Durant, he's struggling with self-identity here. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, before the season, he was getting kind of these crazy tats, and he's like, what of like stars, and during the season, technicals and ejections, led the NBA, and we're like, he's not Rasheed Wallace. What? And Jason had this theory. He's like, he still doesn't quite know exactly who he is and what he is, and he's trying to explain it, and he's trying to tell you he's a dog, he's trying to tell you he's an alpha, and he's getting ejections, and he's getting these technicals, and he's tough for the media, and he's getting snappy, and that's not who he is. That's not who he is. Derek Jeter was not a yeller and a screamer. Kobe was not a yeller and a screamer. Michael Jordan, though, would punch a teammate. Who are you? Do you know who you are? And so Jason said this all year, and I was like, I don't know if it's true, but it's interesting. That Durant, he doesn't quite know exactly, is he reliable, Mr. Unreliable? Does he want to be an alpha, or did he go to Golden State? Because he didn't always want to be an alpha. He didn't want to drive to the arena having to score 40. But he wanted to be a guy in Oklahoma City, was the man, and Russell was the man. But he wanted to go to Golden State where he wasn't necessarily going to be the man. What? And so Jason Whitlock's theory was like, it's interesting. Again, I don't know if it's right, but it's interesting. Did you watch last night, Steve Kerr, Kevin Durant had this moment during the game? I think it's important. Listen to this.
When MJ was with the Bulls, we had a playoff game, and he kept trying to score. And he was scoring, but we weren't getting anything going. Phil Jackson said, who's open? I said, John Paxson. I want you to trust your teammates early. What you're doing is you're getting to the rim, and then you're trying to hit them. I want you to trust the first guy, and then move. Still attack, still look to score, but trust these guys, okay?
Okay, first of all, really awesome story that KD completely ignored. Because he's a lost puppy. He's a 7-foot puppy. He's lost. He's disappeared last 2 games, fourth quarter. He had 23 passes last night. I'm not talking assists. Passes. 20 passes off his season average. A low for the playoffs. He's still trying to figure out who he is. He was getting all those technicals this year and all these ejections, and he got real snippy with the press. He's a good dude. That's not who he is. What are you doing? Everybody likes Kevin Durant. He's a good dude. He's not crazy. He was trying to be something he's not. And in this series, Oklahoma City, I want to be the man. But then why do you go to Golden State, which has like 3 other star players where you won't be the man? I like their style of play. That's why I went to Golden State. I like their style of play. But yet, Kevin, you passed only 23 times, which is the opposite of their Golden State style of play. Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Larry Bird, and Magic knew who they were. Durant's 10 years into this career. He's trying to get teased and get ejected to be snippy to prove that he's what he's not. He's a good dude. Everybody likes him. I'm an alpha. Not really. That's why he went to Golden State, to join a team where you didn't have to be the guy. Last 2 games, end of the game, he disappears. Never forget what Lee Jenkins said on our show. He's the one that wrote the really long article on Kevin Durant. He made a really interesting comment about 2 weeks ago on our show.
Durant's still a searcher. He's still somebody who seeks things out. When I think about LeBron, and they've sort of traveled a bit of a similar course where it took them a while to win that first one. They had to go somewhere where it was more favorable, right? The odds were a little bit more favorable for them. They learned how to win somewhere. I think he's still the kind of person, just knowing him a little bit and the way he sort of seeks out different challenges. He could seek out something different at some point. I don't think that's beyond the realm of the possible. I'm not saying that would be next season or even the season after, but he's still somebody who may at some point want to show what he can do.
He's a searcher. He's still searching. And in this series, man, it's been obvious. He doesn't quite. There's a piece of video last night. This is a great shot by the TNT cameras of Steve Kerr yelling at him after he told him to pass. He's still screaming at him, pass. I mean, didn't Kevin Durant go to Golden State to be part of a team that passed? And now he goes to Golden State and he's the one guy that's not passing. He wanted to be the man. Or did he? Because he went to a team where he's not the man. And he's a good dude, but the league and ejections and technicals and snipping at reporters. And, I mean, he looks like a lost puppy in this series. He really does. He looks like a lost puppy. He doesn't know what he is. And what he is and what he should go to bed and think about on the plane and think about in practice is he is the best shooting 7-footer ever. We've never had a guy of that size. Dirk Nowitzki's close, that can put the ball on the deck, hit a 2, hit a 3, hit a dunk. That's what he is. That's what he is. Not a great rebounder, not a great defender, not a tough guy. Don't get ejected, don't get technicals, don't yell at the press. Not what you are. You're the world's best shooter. So shoot. Curry runs the team, you shoot. 3s, 2s, dunks, layups. You shoot. Don't hog the ball. Don't idle the ball. Don't clog the lane. Don't do the bang, bang, dribble, 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 dribble. It's not who you are. Got a guy on the team, best in the world at that. His name is Steph Curry. Veteran newsman John Goulet.
No. Turn on the news. This is the Herdline News.
Colin, first we have some breaking news.
Oh, we do. I love breaking news.
Breaking news.
Chris Paul officially out for Game 6. According to the Rockets put this out, he is not going to play in Game 6. They are going to reevaluate him when they get back to Houston. I think it's like they're anticipating they're going to lose. It's like we'll evaluate him for Game 7 after we get back home.
Wow.
So he is officially out.
Wow. First of all, I'm going to get to this in a second. Not only wow, but I'm going to tell you, is Golden State over the last 2 to 3 years the luckiest team in the league when it comes to injuries? By the way, if Golden State gets to the finals and plays the Celtics are missing Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. Wow.
So,
different series this morning.
Yeah, changes a little bit. So the Rockets, obviously a 3-2 lead, probably a little less confident right now. Wow. They won last night despite a really brutal game from James Harden. Went 0-11 from 3. He hasn't hit a 3 since the second quarter of Game 4.
I think he's 0 for his last 20 on 3.
He is. After the game, though, Harden said he doesn't feel like anything is wrong with his shot, and he's not worried. Here's what he said.
Okay.
Nothing. I'm just missing shots. But we're winning, and I'm trying to compete on the defensive end and do other things to, help my team win. But if we got a guy like Eric Gordon making shots, and being aggressive, who cares?
I like that. I keep shooting, and I'd be a good teammate. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, he's not a Westbrook type where he's not a great shooter. He's a great shooter, so
he's
you
just
got to feel like they'll go down. But here's the problem. Now you don't have Chris Paul. So if he can't go 0 of 11 from 3 again without Chris Paul there to help him out, right?
Good God. We got, oh my heavens. Get that breaking news. I may just break this whole news down for the next 2 hours. Man, what a break for the Warriors.
Okay, speaking of the Warriors, despite the tough loss, their head coach Steve Kerr, surprisingly upbeat after the game. I'm not sure if maybe he knew that Chris Paul was not coming back from that because it was clearly severe, but he's feeling pretty good. Here's what he said after the game last night.
I feel great about where we are right now. And that may sound crazy, but I feel it. I know exactly what I'm seeing out there. And we defended them beautifully tonight. We got everything we needed. Just too many turnovers, too many reaches. And if we settle down a little bit, we're going to be in really good shape.
Wow.
Do you agree with Steve Kerr that they're close, or do you think they're in real trouble?
Well, I think what Steve Kerr is saying, you can certainly, because bottom line, Steve Kerr can say, well, KD had 29, Clay was over his season average, Draymond had 15 boards, and Steph was fine. And by the way, we won the battle of the boards. So it's not like they're not playing poorly. It's not like they're completely out of sorts. Now, Kevin Durant end of games is lost. I mean, Kevin Durant and Harden at the end of games are not even, I mean, Harden's a liability. I don't know if Kevin's a liability. Kevin's just invisible as the second best player in the league. But if I'm Steve Kerr, I can certainly talk myself, especially now, I can talk myself into, my guys are all playing good in spurts.
Yeah.
Nobody's outside of Kevin Durant last 7 minutes, last 2 games disappearing. I'm all good. Kevin did score 29.
And finally, the Cavs take on the Celtics in their own home game down 3-2 tonight. Their head coach, Tyronn Lue, isn't worried about the deficit in the series. In fact, he, like Kerr, loves his team's chances. Here's what he said on a conference call yesterday.
Yeah, that has to be our mindset. I know we play well at home, but, we have to beat them. And we can't just expect coming home and for our great fans and crowd that we're going to, win the game. We got to play well, and we understand that. And I like what we've done the last 3 games defensively. Even, Game 5 in Boston yesterday. So if we continue to play the defense the way we've been playing, I do love our chances, and I know we'll shoot the ball better and play better offensively at home.
Yep, Cavs by 60 tonight.
Yeah, I think I knew where you stood on that one.
What's the spread on that game? About 7 or 8? What is the spread? I like the Cavs tonight.
It's not as big as the Warriors spread.
The Warriors spread,
which is, I think Vegas knew Chris Paul wasn't going to play because that was 10.5.
Yeah, and by the way, I'll take that's with no Chris Paul.
The line is 7.
Yeah, no, I like the Cavs tonight. I do. Veteran newsman John Goulet.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie
Let's
News.
bring on a man to argue with me. Eddie House is in the house. 11 NBA